In today's video, I'm going to teach you how to use the Inspector panel in Wix Studio. The Inspector panel in Wix Studio is essentially your command center. And once you know where it is and what it controls, working inside the editor becomes much faster and much more precise. It sits on the right side of the editor and gives you direct access to the settings that affect how selected elements look, behave, and respond across your site. To open it, start by looking at the top right area of the Studio editor. Close to the Publish button, there, you'll find the Open Inspector icon, which looks like a small arrow pointing to the right. Go ahead and click that icon, and the panel will slide open along the right side of the screen. That's your main workspace for editing detailed properties of whatever element you currently have selected. Once the panel is open, you'll notice several tabs across the top, along with collapsible sections underneath. These tools are organized by purpose, which makes it easier to find. Tune your design without hunting through menus. The Design tab is where you modify the visual appearance of elements. This is the place to change things like colors, borders, opacity, corner radius, and typography. If your element supports different states, such as a hover state, you can also edit those here. This is especially useful when you want your site to feel polished and interactive, while keeping your visual style consistent. The Size and Responsive Behavior tab lets you define how wide or tall an element should be, and decide exactly how it scales across different screen sizes. Breakpoints. For example, you can keep an element fixed, scale it proportionally, or stretch it as needed. This area is important for making sure your layout stays clean and usable on desktop, tablet, and mobile views. The Position and Layout tab gives you control over docking, margins, padding, and exact X and Y coordinates, if you are working with more advanced structures like sections or grids. This is also where you can move items between specific grid cells and adjust settings for flexbox layouts or repeaters. In other words, this is where precision placement happens. The Animation and Effects tab is where you add movement and visual interaction. You can apply entrance animations, hover movements, scroll effects, and even WebGL transforms. Used thoughtfully, these effects can make your site feel more dynamic without overwhelming the design. Finally, the CMS or Database tab becomes especially useful when you are working with repeaters or dynamic pages. Here, you can connect text and images directly to your datasets, helping you populate content efficiently and keep everything organized. That's all to it. Thanks for watching.